Welcome back, everyone. We're continuing with our Sound of Spring floral album, and this is the tutorial for page 3. So I'm going to give you some measurements here. Flap A is going to be 7 7/8 by 4.5. Again, that's 2 lines before 8. B is 7 by 5. I'm just going to set that aside because there's no score lines on B. C, 8 by 3.5. D is 7.5 by 3 3/4. E, 7 7/8 by 5.5. And F is a pocket, 8 7/8. That's 2 lines before 9 by 4.5. Okay, so let's get this all scored. I'm going to bring out my scoreboard. Where is it? Here it is. Okay. So, flap A is a right flap, and we're going to score that 1/2 inch with the 4.5 inch side facing the top. B, there is no score line. C is the right flap. Actually, it's a pocket that goes on the flap. So that is 8 by 3.5. And we want to score that on 3 sides, starting with the 8 inch side facing the top. So that's the side that's going to be open. D. D is the insert into that pocket, so that we're going to set aside. That doesn't have any score lines. E is a left flap. Score 1/2 inch with the 5.5 inch side facing the top. And F is a pocket, so we're going to start with our open side facing the top, which is the 8 by 7/8. Okay, so now let's bring out the score tape and put tape on all these flaps. Okay, so this is a pocket. Make sure to tape under that fold line. Okay, so taping with the on the linen side, because that's going to fold under. And if you don't have textured paper, it's the side that has the raised score line, the mountain side. Okay. All right, so let's start putting these flaps down. First, I'm going to press everything down. It's really only 4 things, 4 flaps and pockets. The rest are pieces that go inside. So let's take our 2 pockets and cut the corners. We'll go up, intersection, and turn a little bit. And I'm cutting on the flat side, the underneath side, so I can see that line real well without the tape in the way. I always clean as I go along. Okay, so let's bring out the pocket page. And I'm going to label this. So this is page 3. I've got my openings on the sides. Turn it over, put a 4 there. Okay, so let's see, A. A is a right flap. Let me see. Yeah, that's okay. It looked crooked a little bit, but I just put the tape a little high on that side. Okay, so this goes on the right-hand side. So I'll turn my page, and there's a little bit of space at the top, eeny weeny, 1/16 of an inch. Tuck it under and make it flush on this right-hand side. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna put the other part, the left flap, on first. So let's see, E. I'm looking for E. And then I will show you the rest is all gonna be on top of this A flap. Let's get E down. Putting it over top of A here so I can make sure that it's lined up to the left and right there. And tuck this under and bring it right to the edge. Use your thumb as a guide. You can feel where the edge is. Okay. There's this little bit of white here showing. I can erase that. I think that's my white gel pen. Okay, so here is my A flap, and what I want to do, I've got my C pocket, and that is going to go on top of B. So B is just going to be what holds this pocket on it, and then that's what we'll use to lift and open this flap. So we'll take B. It's our 7x5 piece. And let's put this pocket on top of that flap first. Okay. And I can leave these on until I put my design paper on. So on one side, let's line this up. Left and right is flush, and right to the end here. I'm hanging over a little bit, so I just want to look and make sure. Okay. Okay, so this is going to go on top facing that way, but before I glue it on, I want to put my design paper on. So I'm just going to hold this for a second D is going to be an insert into here. Hold up. I must have cut this wrong. Let me measure again. D is supposed to be 4.5 by 6 3/4. I have it as 7.5. Hold up. I am going to correct that on your books, but it is actually 4.5 by 6 3/4. So no problem. Let's just cut another piece, because that is not exactly, I don't know what I was looking at. So no problem. Let's just cut another piece, and I'm going to write it here so you can see it. But it's going to be 6 3/4. Sorry about that. You can always use that other piece for something. 6 3/4 by 4.5. Let's make sure. Now this fits in just so. So I will correct that on the cut list. 6.5 by, 4.5 by 6 3/4. And look at it in here and see if you like the squared end, that's fine. If not, you can always corner around the corners, and I think I'm going to do that on this. I have this, it's by We Are, and there's 3 different sizes. There's a small round, medium, and a big rounded. So I kind of like that. I have a choice, and it's just real easy to use. And since I did that, I'm going to take this end and just round that. Okay. Voila. So I'm going to set that aside because I have to put the design paper on first. And then we have our F pocket. So let's clean that up. This goes in the middle. Okay, so I'm going to put in here, and I'm going to put this between these 2 fold lines. You know, don't go beyond those. Try to fit it right in between there. It's a little bit of space on either side. And just put that down. And I'm going to leave my backing there until I put my design paper behind it. And just to make sure everything closes, there we go. So, let me get magnet placement going on here. Okay, so one of the magnets is going to be on top, underneath this pocket here. So we can't do that quite yet, but we can put this one down. So let me put one right there. Now, whenever you have a flap and it's going and there's a pocket right there, you can't put it smack in the middle because you don't want it landing half on the pocket, half off. So just pick a side. You want to land on your pocket or behind here. I'm going to go back here. So I'll make mine a little higher. Before I tape it down, I'll look and see where it lands. Let's just take my ruler. I'll look here and see that it lands right about there, which is perfect. And I'll tape it down. I'll get my polar opposite magnet. And just, and there we go. Okay, so this is going to go here, this is there, and this will close with this, basically. I'm going to put a magnet under here, and it will land on top of our flap over there. So that is what it looks like, and let me show you how I decorated it. Let's save this over here. Okay, so page 3, we have this blue flowered paper. It's in there in the Ciao Bella Sound of Spring pack. And like we did over here, you take that paper and you draw lines where you can get these two flowers to sit right on top. And on that paper, this is from the same sheet. You just take a scrap piece and put it right till about, you know, right to about here, maybe an inch, 3/4 of an inch in the pocket. And when you lay that down, then you can take the backing off the sides and press that down. This is our insert. I used blue from the Craft Consortium pack, and this is just a scrap piece. Probably came from the same paper, but you can look and see. But just try to match everything. If you want, and I thought of this after the fact, you could put 3 brads over here, which sort of goes with the page, the opposite page. So you could put those there. Just use a piercing tool, put 3 brads. So I might go back and do that myself. Okay, this paper, it's got like, I think it's on the other side, or it's got like a linen, white linen look with a brown background, and it's the same sheet as this piece. The inside, these blues are from the Craft Consortium, so is this green leaves. I made a little booklet at the end, so you can go back and do this, but I'm just showing you what I did. I do have a piece here that has the 3 brads. I would make yours deeper than I made this. I just put it in here so it comes right to here. But if you want to make it go all the way to the bottom, just add a little bit. You can measure that, but it would have been better if I did that. That's the only pieces I had left. So there's that. And for the pull-out, this is that same, you know, paper. I used the other, I had 2 packs, so I did that. And I corner rounded my pull-outs too. All right, so now we have pages 4 and 5, and those are mirror images of each other, so I will make them together in the same video, in the next video. So see you soon.